Hello everyone, welcome back. We're going to go ahead and continue creating our character. This time we're going to start with actually making the legs of this character here. So I'm going to go ahead and go to my side view, which is the right view. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at my reference again. And we're going to go ahead and turn on the wireframe so I can see the leg here. So it looks like when it comes to extruding one of my faces, it's going to be roughly around this area. But it looks like I'm going to have to adjust the current model a little bit. That way it has enough space for this leg to actually come out of this character here. So I'm going to go ahead and go to this here, my X-ray over here on top. I'm gonna go ahead and right click over my model and go to edge. I'm gonna go ahead and select the edge loop here. And I'm gonna go ahead and bring out my move tool with W key or over here. And I'm just gonna move it a little bit. Probably right here will be good. That way it has enough space for my face to actually come out. So I'm just look here, everything looks okay. Then what okay. So now I got this here. I'm gonna go ahead and actually extrude the side of this face here. So got that selected on both ends. I'm gonna go ahead and go to edit mesh and extrude again. So we're actually gonna go hit the W key or W key or remove tool. I'm just gonna move it out. Oops. Sometimes it does that. I don't know why. Okay. So what I did, I just clicked outside just to deselect it and just come in to select that face again. So I'm just gonna pull this out a little bit, like so. I'm gonna go back to here, see how it looks in the reference. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and select this face here and start to move it up over here, just to make sure it's matching the thigh a little bit to the character. Go back to my front view, see how it looks from the front here. So I'm trying to see how to best match this. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and go to my edge here, get the edge right here, come back to my front view and just move that in a little bit. I'm gonna go to my object mode and just see how it looks a little bit. Okay. So next we're gonna go ahead and start building the leg a little bit more. So let's go ahead and get this face that we initially pulled out, and we're gonna go ahead and edit mesh and extrude again. I'm gonna bring out my move tool so it's easier to pull it out. Then the next thing I'm gonna want to do is go to my rotate tool, or hit your E key. And I'm just gonna try my best to rotate this face a little bit. I'm gonna go and bring my move tool, try to bring it down a little bit. So what I'm doing is just going to my move tool, scale tool, rotate tool, and just try to best shape this face to have it start being positioned to come down so it can match our front view a little bit here. See how it's trying to come down a little bit? I'm gonna go to my vertex and grab some vertices and try to help move that down a little bit as well. So I'm trying to be consistent when it comes to limbs. Like you want to have this loop around the character. You want to keep these loops when it comes to building limbs. like building them out and keep it consistent. Again, you'll see when it comes to the rigging phase how these loops will be important when moving your character and deforming it. So I'm going to go ahead and control save. I'm going to go ahead and continue building out this leg. We're going to go ahead and select the face again over here. We're going to go to Edit Mesh, Extrude, or Control E. So I'll pull it out a little bit. Go ahead and hit my W key or the Move tool and just move it a little bit more how I want it. So I'm going to go ahead and go to my side view again. Now I've noticed that I haven't been keeping close to my reference, so I'm going to go ahead and take the time and start moving the leg a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and switch to my edge. I'm going to go ahead and select all my edges on this loop. And I'm going, and then what I'm doing is when I hover over one, I'm holding Shift and selecting the next one. Shift and click. Shift click. That way I can highlight the whole loop here. I'm gonna go ahead and go back to my side view and just move it over so I can match my reference as closely as possible. And I can tell it looks a little weird right here. Don't worry, you can still select the face, go to right click over your model, go to face, click on that face and just bring it up a little bit. That way it can help the form a little bit. Again, going to either edge, vertex, or face. I'm gonna go to edge here, get the in between the leg and just bring that out a little bit more. That way it helps with that form. And again, I can always go back and better curve this. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to edge here, select these faces, and go ahead and bring that back here. So you can see we're starting to get some of that form back, keeping it consistent. So we'll go ahead and continue building out this leg. I'm gonna go ahead and go to right click over the model, go to face, select the face here. That from the end of your leg so far, and we're going to go ahead and Control E or Edit Mesh Extrude. So again, pressing the space bar to bring out our different views, and just going hovering over another one and just pressing space again. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and rotate this a little bit. I'm trying to see what the best way to do this. Trying to rotate it. Keep it more straight in the bottom here. I'm going to go ahead and go back to edge. Start to select these other edges here, and I'm going to go ahead and rotate it. That way the form is being a little bit more cleaner here. So it just takes a little bit of time just to get a feel of what best is for the model as far as like the flow of the topology or polygons. You can see it looks a little bit better here. The face is starting to face down as we are building the leg as it goes down. So I want to go back to my face, go to Control E to extrude or Edit Mesh again, and find extrude. So I'm just trying my best to get roughly there. I can tell that I'm definitely gonna have to rotate some of these edge loops here to help the shape some more. So I want to go ahead and do that again. I'm going to go to right click, Edit Mesh. I'm going to go ahead and click around with clicking one of these edges, then hover over the next one and hold Shift and click. So I want to go to my side view. I'm going to move it up a little bit. I might actually start to rotate it a little bit as well. I'm going to go ahead and do that with the next loop here. And click on it, shift click over the next one, and continue to shift click to highlight the other ones. Then I'm going to go ahead and rotate right here. Then I'm going to go bring my move tool and move it some more here. So now you can see it's starting to get a little bit better. It's starting to flow along the line a little bit better. I'm going to go ahead and go to face. Go back to this face here. If you don't have it selected, just go ahead and select it. And I'm going to go ahead and rotate it some more. Now I'm thinking I'm going to go ahead and go to the scale and decrease it. I'm going to go ahead and taper it a little bit. That way it matches the rest of the leg's size. Alright, I'm going to take some time to look over it a little bit. See how it looks on our front view here. You can tell that's not matching again. So we're going to go ahead and select that face again. Go ahead and select it. Go to our front view, bring up our move tool or W key for the quicker option. And we're going to go ahead and just move that in here. So we're starting to get some of that pose of that leg here a little bit. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and look around. Not really liking how this is looking right here. This fold. It's not what I'm looking for at the moment, so I'm going to go ahead and go to right click over it, and I think I'm going to go ahead and find the edge. Here, see if this does anything. Looks a little bit better, so we'll go ahead and keep that for now. Alright, we'll go ahead and go back to building out the rest of this leg here. Before I go ahead and start to angle this, I'm going to go ahead and add another loop here. So I'm going to go find my quad draw, go over this edge here, while holding shift brings this option to add a loop, and I'm going to go ahead and click right here. Then I'm going to go ahead and do another one right here. I'm going to keep it a little bit more closer to the end of this face here. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and press Q afterwards, or click on your selection tool. To get out of the tool, we're going to go ahead and go to face here. I'm going to go ahead and select the end right here. I'm going to go check back on our side view, see where I need to start moving the model around. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up my move tool, W key, or select over here, and just start to move it around. I'll go shift to my rotate tool, rotate it a little bit. And we're going to go ahead and just continue our best. Switching between the scale, rotate, and move to move around that face. So shifting to my side view, don't forget your side view as well. Try to keep things matching. And go ahead and start to edit some of these, this part of the leg. So I'm going to go to my vertex. And I'm going to go ahead and I think I'm going to actually take the time to go ahead and add another loop here. That way we can get that calf of the leg a little bit more shaped. So I'm just gonna go to quad draw again here on the right. I'm probably gonna go between these loops here. I'm gonna hit Control or hold Control and click over here. Now I'm gonna go back to this side view. I'm gonna get out of that quad draw tool, going to go ahead and right click, and let's go ahead and go to vertex. And select it, move tool, and start to move that into place. Going to go ahead and move, select this vertex here, and start putting things as much as I can to match the shape. So it looks like I might have to actually add another loop here as well. Quite a bit of loops, don't worry. Just when it comes to shaping certain areas, you just sometimes need that extra polygons to achieve it. So again, exit out of that tool by going to your selection tool. I'm going to go ahead and hover over my model and right click and select vertex. So get that as close as possible. I'm not going to worry about this last spike. That's something I'm probably going to have to add a little bit later, so we won't stress about it too much right now. Alright, I see that this needs to be pushed out a little bit more to the right, so I'm going to go ahead and select both these vertices and actually just push it out more. So yeah, a lot of this is just looking over your reference and just simply moving certain sections of your model. Alright, so you're definitely getting some of that nice form, that leg here. We'll definitely go back and start adding more form here, but we'll go ahead and continue building out this leg. So it's going to go ahead and hover over, right click, and select your face. And select the end of this foot here, and we're going to go ahead and do the same exact thing. We're going to go ahead and Control E or Edit Mesh, Extrude. And we're just going to go ahead and pull it down. And look on the other side here. I'm going to go ahead and actually move it a little bit more this way. I see here that this leg should be pushed out, or yeah, pushed in a little bit more this way, a bit more, to get that leg proper, but we'll come back to that later. Go back to our side view. Let's go ahead and select our edge. Go ahead and select all around that loop. Remember, Control, select the loop, and continue to hold Control, so that way you can select the rest of them as well when you click over it. So we're going to go ahead and go to my scale tool and just start to scale this down a little bit. So far we're getting the beginning of our leg here. So let's go ahead and actually adjust the leg from this angle. I'm going to go ahead and go to X-ray, that way I can see a little bit of the other vertices, if I can select them, and as well as the reference as well. So you can also see that here we're actually building a little too much out here as well. So we're definitely going to have to take some time to start pushing things a little bit back in. So we're going to go ahead and start with just bringing some of this form back inside here. So I'm trying to do things a little quickly, just selecting many faces at once. Checking how it looks in this view. It looks a little weird. I'm gonna go ahead and go to my edge and just start moving things a little bit more. That way the leg looks a little bit more proper in this character. So I'm going between, faces, vertexes, and edges again to help build the character. So now it looks a little too thick from this angle. So that's that can happen when you're moving between front and side view. Things can start to get moved, but it's alright because you can still go back and just move things again. So I was able to move that leg back a little bit to match the side and the front. And keep things a little bit more consistent. Alright, let's go back to the side view. Turn on the X-ray so you can see the model. It's roughly accurate to where the leg is opening up here, like the form of it, the thigh. As it flows through the rest of the image, we'll go ahead and look at the front. Looks good this way, but now the top here needs to be adjusted. So we'll go ahead and click off the X-ray. We'll go ahead and let's go to edge. Click probably this edge here. Turn on X-ray and we'll just tuck that in. Let's go to the move tool. Select that edge right there. Then we'll go to vertex. Grab that vertex and just push it out a little bit. So that's all it is. It's just looking back and forth, tucking in some of the model to help match the reference. So it looks good. Mostly on the side, just a little bit more. So it looks good on this front view and now the side view. So again, we can still adjust the form later on, but just wanted to show how you can move certain parts of your polygon on the model to help match your reference. Alrighty, so we'll go ahead and continue the foot. We want to now build this claw part. So again, we're going to go ahead and hover over, select face, select the end of our foot here. Now we're going to go ahead and Control E or edit mesh and extrude again. So this time we're going to want to try to have our face of the foot try to face going like the Z-axis, like going left. So we're going to try our best to get that done. We're going to rotate the face a little bit. Then I'm going to go ahead and go to select our edge. Select the loop around it and just go to rotate and just start to rotate things around. Don't worry about the form too much here on the lower part of the leg. We'll definitely go back to that soon. Now I'm going to go ahead and extrude again. Control E or edit mesh extrude. Actually, let's go ahead and do that. We shouldn't be twisting this too much. Straightening these this edge here as much as I can, just to have things a little bit more cleaner. Okay, looks a little bit better. Alright, so when it comes to this foot, I can tell that there's 3 claws to it and the back claw, but I want to go ahead and focus on the front claw for now. So what I want to do is actually bring out a cube. And actually start building the foot this way a little bit. So I want to try to make sure I can get like I guess 3 toes out of this. So I want to go ahead and while having this cube selected, I want to go ahead and go to the poly cube section here on your attribute editor. So again, when we first started this model, we messed with the subdivisions, like the width, the height, depth. So I'm going to go ahead and do it again here. So I'm going to go ahead and add 3 over here. That way we can pull out each of these faces for our toes of the character. Then I'll show you how to combine it with the rest of this leg here. So I make sure I have the symmetry on, the X here. I'm going to select both of these faces here, and I'm going to hit Control E to extrude or Edit Mesh Extrude. And I'm simply going to go ahead and pull them out. And with my move tool, I'm going to go ahead and move them out from where they were here. That way I can give some space for the middle rectangle here. Control E to extrude or Edit Mesh Extrude. And I'm going to pull it out here. That way we can have our toes to this character. Next, I'm going to go ahead and go to Vertex. I'm going to select my vertices here, and I'm just going to push them down a little bit more. And then to help match the length of these toes, I'm going to go ahead and go to my side view, select all of these vertices here, and go ahead and go to the scale tool or your R key. I'm going to select this yellow square right here on the side here, and I'll bring it into the center. That way I can have, you know, roughly equal length. The last thing I want to go ahead and do is go to face, select the outside of the toes, select them, go to your rotate or E key, and I'm just going to rotate it a little bit. Notice a little bit too much, so I want to go ahead and bring my move tool and just start to move them a little bit. Just try your best to, I guess, kind of match this here. So what we're going to do now for our model is go ahead and attach this to the rest of your body here. And I don't want to worry too much about I guess the topology of this character. I know we're talking about, you know, making sure topology is good, just to keep you aware of it. But for now, we're just gonna try our best to combine it with here. All right, so now let's go ahead and combine your foot to the rest of the character. So I want to go ahead and select it and try to move it as close as I can here. And I'm actually going to go ahead and scale it down a little bit. I want to go to Vertex, and I'm just going to kind of move it like this. What we're going to do is when we combine this, these two models together, we're going to come back to our modeling kit and use the quad draw to actually combine them. And to do this, we're going to go ahead and delete some faces from here, from the end of this foot, and a face in the front of this leg in order to combine it. And that's how this looks in this smooth preview. So for now, I'm going to go ahead and select the quad draw while having this foot selected. I want to hover over this edge so I can move it, and I'm just going to bring it in to the center of the foot. That way this edge meets this edge, and it's going to just merge those edges together. Just looking at the reference again. Looking back at the reference again, I'm probably just going to increase the size of this a little bit more. Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and put my face, hover over here, go ahead and select that face, and I'm actually going to go ahead and delete that face. Your back key, just delete it. So it's deleted. I'm going to go ahead and go to edge, select all the edges here, and I'm just going to shrink it a little bit more. So I'm just getting this part of the model prepared for when I merge them. So I'm going to go ahead and select this model, go to right click, edit face, select this end face here, and I'm going to go ahead and delete it. That way when we combine them, it'll be easier for us with the quad draw just to merge things together. Before we actually do that, we want to go ahead and do what we did last time with the eye. We're going to go ahead and copy this and flip it to the other leg. That way things merge properly again. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure I click each of these. That way we're deleting any history, zeroing out any values on this foot. That way it'll be easier for us to duplicate it and mirror it to the other side. So I'm going to go ahead and click each of these. That way it's clean. We're going to go ahead and, while having this foot selected, we're going to go ahead and go to edit and find the duplicate. So it's duplicated. And we're going to go ahead and go to our front view again. Bring up your move tool, or W key, move tool. And we're going to do the hold the D key, then hold the X key again. And it's going to change the pivot, and it's going to snap to our grid. So I'm just moving it again, that way it snaps to the middle of our grid. And when we go to our channel box here, right, we can go ahead and do the, on the scale X, -1. That way you can flip it. And hit enter to actually confirm it. Now we got the foot on the other side, which is great. So the next thing we're going to go ahead and do is select all three of these objects. We're going to actually go to your Windows. No, I'm sorry. We're going to go to your mesh and find your combine here. Go ahead and hit combined. Don't worry about this changing. It's just taking off the smooth preview. You can always turn it back on, and we're back to where we were. Next, just to help the model stay clean, we're going to go ahead and start to zero out the values, delete the history, and center pivots. And that way you can delete some of this extra stuff on your outliner that you don't need. And it saves on memory on your file a little bit. And go ahead and take the time to save or control save. Yeah, file, then save scene. Alrighty, so now when you click it, it selects everything because it's now one mesh. So now we're gonna go ahead and start merging these faces, these edges together. So let's go back to our modeling kit, go to Quad Raw, and you can select any of these faces, or this edge, I'm sorry, and move it. Actually, let's go ahead and get out of your smooth preview. It might make things easier to move. So, like you saw earlier, we can start to move around a little bit of like the vertices here. You can move the vertices and or your edge as well, and actually just move it to that point, to that point here. So you can move this vertice to that vertice, and it's going to actually start to merge them. Essentially, just combining topology. So you can go back to your smooth preview by hitting the 3 key, and you can start to see how it merged together. I'm just going to try to select these faces here, that way I can rotate it, that way the foot's a little bit more cleaner here. So again, I'm just starting to go back to my references and just starting to rotate things around again. See how it best looks for my model. So there's that quick way of using a cube to start building out the shape for your foot and combining it to the rest of your leg here. Alright, now let's go ahead and add, I guess, the rest of the toes of this character. But before we do that, we'll go ahead and select their foot and start to move it a little bit back in place. Try and match the reference a little bit. Just moving things ever so slightly. Check it front view. Looks okay, just right there. Definitely gonna be a lot of time to actually match these toes to the reference here. It's a little hard to see, but it's okay. We can try our best to match the design of it. So I think based on the design, I guess the beginning part of our toes here are actually smaller. So I'll go ahead and actually shrink the foot a little bit here. Alrighty, so now we're gonna go ahead and prepare these 3 parts of the toe. We're gonna model it in a way that looks like the actual claws coming out of it. So I want to go ahead and select all 3 of these faces here. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing, edit mesh and extrude. This time we're going to not select the move tool. We're just going to mess with this tool here. That it comes out. That comes when you actually extrude. I'm going to go ahead and hit extrude again. Then I want to go ahead and use this yellow cube, shrink this a little bit in, and push it in. I think it looks okay for there for now. One thing when it comes to like trying to focus on one area of like your camera to focus on and rotate around. When you have something selected, you can actually press the F key, and whatever is selected is now the main focus of the camera. And you can also do this when you have vertices or faces selected. So say you want to more focus here on your foot. You notice how I'm rotating, and it's not really rotating around this little face here. If I have it selected, I can press the F key, and now when I rotate, it rotates around it. So it makes it a little bit easier when you are actually moving around. So just a little note. Alrighty, so now that we have the foot here, we're going to go ahead and try to add, a basic claw for right now. You can actually do this by going to creating a cylinder here from your poly modeling. And bring it down here, we're just going to go ahead and rotate it. Then we're going to go ahead and go back to our attribute editor and find the polygon one. And again, we're going to go ahead and mess with these subdivisions again. I think I'm going to go ahead and decrease these subdivisions to, let's say, I think I'm going to go ahead and do it to 8. Then we're going to go ahead and do subdivision height by, let's go ahead and do 3 for now. Alright, cool. Next thing I'm going to do is bring out my scale tool. I'm just going to go ahead and scale it from the Z axis here. That way we have the toe a little bit longer. Now I'm going to go ahead and go to edge. No, actually, no, we're going to go ahead and go to faces. I'm going to go to faces and select the middle faces of this cone. We're going to bring up our move tool, and we're just going to move it up just to help, just so we can create this claw here. Then I want to go ahead and select this face here, and we're actually going to go ahead and delete it because we don't really need it. And I'm going to go to edge, select all the edges here. They bring my rotate, go to my side view. That way we can see it all here, and select the yellow circle because that is our rotate Y, I believe. So now we got a nice little curved claw that we need. Well, I have the the model selected here, go ahead and go to object mode. And let's go back to scale, and let's go ahead and actually, you know, no, let's just keep it like that for now. So we're gonna go ahead and decrease the size of it by the scale. I'm gonna try our best to move it around and fit our foot. So again, the focus on any object, just press the F key and it'll bring you to it, and it'll be easy for you to rotate. So I'm just gonna go ahead and try to fit it in here as best as possible. Rotate it around. You can definitely hold the D key to move the pivot around to right here to the start of my claw. That way it's easier to, you know, rotate or move things around. Just try my best to fit it in here. May not be exact, but we can always edit things later. So it may not look exactly like my model, but we're just trying to just put the base of this model together. I'm gonna go ahead and duplicate and just try to fit the claw on this side here. Again, we're gonna go ahead and Control D to duplicate or edit while you have the model selected, and hit duplicate. Again, I'm just going in and moving it a little bit into place as best as possible. So we have our claw here, and we're gonna go ahead and do the same thing with these claws to the other side as well. So the way I'm actually going to do it this time is have all my claws selected. We're going to do, again, just select all your claws together. We're going to go ahead and click on one of them, hold your shift, click on the other one, hold your shift, click on the next one. Then we're gonna go to mesh and combine. And again, like we did last time, these three settings here, we're gonna go ahead and zero out the values here, delete history to get rid of all just extra stuff from the outliner, and let's go ahead and center the pivot. Once we have all that ready, we'll bring up our move tool, go to our front view, then we're gonna go ahead and move the pivot by holding D, then holding X at the same time. That way we can actually snap the pivot to the middle of our grid here. Once we have that, we're gonna go to our scale X and type in -1 and hit enter. Oops, I did not duplicate. Let's go ahead and duplicate now. Let's go and duplicate. Now we can go ahead and do -1 and hit the return key, and now it's on the other side. So, this is how a way to start building out this leg. Yeah, it doesn't look the best right now at the moment, but we'll definitely come back and actually continue to edit this leg. But for now, we'll see you next time.